right, welcome to the Two Men with Mics podcast. I am your host, Bobby Joe.
And I am CJ, and it seems like every time I start or we start, I always start doing scratching on my beard and
Hey,
for whatever, I don't know. And then look
don't
around.
don't get me started on the beard stuff because I still wish mine was a little thicker. I'm just waiting for the whole thing to turn gray
Yeah.
so I can post some pictures on Instagram, more pictures like everyone else does. So once it grays out, so we'll see what happens.
It
But
seemed as mine started turning gray, it got thinner. And I'm like, what? And I see these
it got
dudes, these,
thinner.
yeah, like these dudes had these thick gray beards. And I'm like, which, I got some Django hair, Django and what's his name from Roots? I can't think his name. I was about to say Toby. Toby. My name is
So
not Toby, whatever. I forgot his name, but from Roots. It's nappy. I need to
so
get a
so
perm.
so do you what kind of beard products do you use?
What's his name? Scorched. I call it Scorched. I only use, I use the whole little system, the shampoo, the beard wash, the
The Scotch Porter?
conditioner, yeah, the Scotch Porter, the beard
Okay.
wash, the balm, and then the actual oil or whatever it is.
So how does it work? Give me your quick review right quick because everyone tells me they rave about it. They're like Scotch Porter. It's the best.
I was looking at my beard. It's terrible. It's not the greatest, and I've been using it for a while. The only thing I can say is it has a little bit more moisture to it. Uh,
Hmm.
from putting in the balm, that balm, and then the tea tree oil, whatever it is.
Okay.
Other than that, I can't. To me, there's not much of a difference, to be
Okay.
honest. And I still buy it, and it's expensive too.
It
So,
is expensive. That's why I
yeah.
don't buy it. I use a combination of the shea butter and
Mm.
I just use a different some bevel. I just use different stuff. I'm like whatever's cheaper. I'm
Yeah,
yeah. Scotch Porter's too expensive.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It,
It's
it,
what it
it,
is.
it's ridiculous. But I wanted to get into our subject here. I wanted to ask you. So, it was kind of a topic and conversation was having, and it's I've had a few conversations on Facebook, but it's regarding child support or living up to your responsibilities. So, I posed the question. Let's say uh, you're seeing someone, whether you're in a long term relationship, you're married to somebody who has children outside, from a previous relationship, and there's a order in place as far as paying child support, and that the baby's mom or dad isn't living up to their obligation, isn't paying the child support like they're supposed to. They're very inconsistent, and then your significant other comes to you asking you for your opinion, your advice, like what should I do, or or should I leave it alone and take it to the courts, or should I reach out to them and say, hey, you know what, it's been X amount of months and you haven't paid anything. Like, how do you feel about stuff? Like, would you give her that advice, or would you get involved, or would you say, well, hey, we're together now, I got it, so don't worry about you know you know
So
because
here's the thing. I would say though, it what where's the relationship at between us, me and that lady? Are we living
right,
together? Are we just dating,
yeah,
not
living
living
together
together? Are
too.
we
Live,
married or
You're
what?
living you're living together.
Not married
Uh
or
yeah,
married?
yeah, or married or not married, but whichever one. But you've been in a relationship for a while. You're living together, and so these children are, I guess you would say in your care as well. You're living together, so uh do I'm just always, curious to know what other people think. Uh, because I know there will be people out there that say, well, why are you worried about, you know, what he's doing or she's doing? But I don't think that absolves you as a parent of your financial responsibility if they're your children. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
I get that, but here's the thing. Like with me, I guess that's why I say it depends on where the relationship is between the two, right?
Right,
If they're
right.
just living together, let's just say they've been living together for a while. I would kind of say, well, if he's not doing whatever, but he's still demanding, I don't know, time, XYZ, all that with the children.
Right.
And you're saying he's not paying any of the child support at
Yeah,
all?
yeah, he's inconsistent. Maybe he's this is just I'm just making stuff up as I go along. Maybe
Okay.
he's maybe he pays and then like 2 or 3 months go by he hasn't paid anything, or he's not even paying the amount that was you know specified by the court.
Well, I'm gonna say the new, but the CJ that tends to try to be mature now and not
Right.
so much of a just jerk and straight to the, whatever and cut people off. I don't know. I think I would tell her, because I think dealing with what I call it, obviously it's co-parenting. So when co-parenting, I think you have to deal with the fact there's another partner, right? Or another person. As in
Right.
she has that guy that she had a
Right.
child with.
Right.
Now he's not sending up the money or giving her money like she's supposed to, or he even misses months. I think it kind of falls on the relationship between those two. Like, what type of communication do you guys have between each other, or are
Now
you
you say with her and
the baby daddy? Say baby
yeah,
daddy,
baby
yeah.
daddy,
Like
yeah, okay,
I think a lot of that falls on that communication between the two and the relationship between the two. Like, you have to be the adult, because you have one child, two child, however many children you have.
mm-hmm.
Um, you're gonna have to deal with that person for 17, 18 years, or however long it's gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
So being mature enough to say, hey, and I do say it may take time to get there. In that position, to be like, hey, you missed this amount of payment, you missed this, or you're being short. What's going on?
Right.
Are you having problems or paying this? Because it's not coming. Either, or maybe the system maybe shorted me somewhere, and I'm thinking you might not have paid all of it. And so that's why I say I think you have to build from that relationship. You have to have that relationship first to do all that.
Mm-hmm.
And get there, and then the children see that too.
Right.
Children see a lot more than what we think they do. And if they see that you guys are being great co-parents, still co-parenting, and there's no, arguing, bickering, cussing, and when I got the kid, it's like, your mom ain't about nothing, stuff like that. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
Dog that person out in front of the child. But I'd say that to just say that I think that it all falls on the relationship between it. If you make that relationship, some dudes be like, I don't want the person in my finances, which I'm not. That's I've my kids. I'm not on a system, in a system. My boys,
Right.
but I do pay, right. But we
Mm-hmm.
set this from day one when they were children. We set up a amount that I would
You
pay.
and her
Yeah,
you
yeah,
set up like okay.
yeah, and we from day one we verbally said that we were going to try to co-parent and be uh, civil as possible
Okay.
for the kids. So we said there's no real outcome or a positive outcome for us to always be arguing and fighting. We're not together anymore. So
Mm-hmm.
we had no ties other than this child. So we shouldn't even have any issues with each other. It's like meeting a stranger, you have nothing. If you meet a stranger, you have nothing to do with that stranger. You shouldn't have anything to argue about that person with, because there's no common ground at that point. Like I said, and so we had that child. So anyway, there's times where I've actually missed the payment and didn't even realize it. And just out of conversation, it was 4 months down the road, 5 months down the road. We were just randomly talking about something, and she said, "Yeah, way back in April, you didn't pay for April."
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, "What?" Yeah. So I go back and look at my bank account, and I didn't, because I
So you
use
just like forgot or
because I physically go in and transfer it. We share a bank, like a bank account that I just put the money into,
mm-hmm.
and it's not even her. It's not her bank account where she actually does her banking at, but we use that bank account. That money goes there, and I don't know how she get out or what she does with it, but it's there. That's the only money that she has in that bank. So I
Mm-hmm.
go back and I look at it. I'm like, oh man, I didn't transfer any money. So
Right.
she said, well, her reply was, well, I thought maybe you've always paid, you've always been paying. You missed this month. Maybe something was going on with you financially and you couldn't pay it,
Hmm.
and she said, I didn't want to like be like harping you because you actually pay all the time. And that's what I'm saying. So you can respect that in a relate, and if you could get to that point, it makes life easier. And that's why I say, like, if I went all around the world with this, but
No, you're good. No, no,
yeah,
no.
but and that's why I say, if they're just dating, if I'm just dating this lady, I would probably tell the same thing. Like, look, just try to figure out how to have a civil co-parenting relationship with this person where you guys
Okay.
can talk and there's no arguing.
Right.
Then you get to the root, maybe you can get to the root why it's not coming, or basically, be able to say, hey, I'm not, I didn't get this money this time. Now, if you're talking about if her and I are married, I'm like everybody else. They're not paying. Then I'm like, don't worry about it. The kids are under our roof.
Right.
We're not struggling for money. We don't need money. The kids got what they want. They got the food, in their stomach, clothes on their back, roof over their head. If he's not doing what he needs to do, then that's on him within his conscience.
Right.
So that's why I think it's double, because if and me not being selfish, if I'm dating that person, I'm not gonna be like, oh, don't worry about it, because I don't know if her and I could break up, and here I am, what I'm saying, she's left out in the cold, you know what I mean?
Right.
So
Right.
that's why I say I think it's a little bit deep, a little bit more. If you get married, and of course I'm like, no, don't worry about it,
So,
because those
so,
kids become my kids at that point. But go ahead.
right. So what if it's an issue where, okay, because of course there are some deadbeat women out there
Yeah.
who don't pay child support, and we don't want to make it one sided. But what if it's an issue to where that baby mama or baby daddy was like, well, since the other person is there, I don't feel like I have to live up to my end,
That's not his, but
or
see that the other person, that's not per se his response. He didn't lay down and make those kids.
no, no, I'm saying the one who did
Yeah, that's
is
what I'm.
yeah.
He's saying that, let's say the new boyfriend
Well,
is
since
there, so he doesn't have to pay the bill, pay the
right,
child support, right?
right.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is that's not the boyfriend responsibility.
Okay.
Now he's not required to do that. Now he didn't lay down and have those kids or that child with that person. You had the child. Those are your child. Your children. You should want
Hmm.
to have to. Uh, you should want to pay, or what I'm saying, or still
Right.
take care of your responsibilities. Just because you guys are separated or whatever it is, doesn't mean that those kids stop growing and stop living. Those kids are still there.
Hmm.
You know, and if you had, those are still your kids, regardless.
Right.
That guy that's there, that's a whole nother situation. He could, like I said, he could take the responsibility on, but he doesn't have to. That's really technically not his responsibility. And I just say
Right.
technically because
Right.
loosely, um, he doesn't, because all he has to do is, to be honest, that new guy can just really just be a presence,
Hmm.
um, in that area. I mean, in that home, if they're living together, he
Right.
can be that presence, and the dad should be able to obviously pay what he's supposed to pay.
Right.
What's wrong with kids having two dads? I don't know. This should be,
Oh
it's
no,
kind
no,
of cool. You know what I'm
I know, I
saying?
agree. I agree. I think it's more beneficial to them. I just always curious what people thought of their responses. I would me honestly, I would try to get involved as little as possible. But I'm always at the same time of the mindset, you know, it doesn't absolve you of your responsibility. You
Mm,
had these children with this person. She didn't do it by herself, or he didn't do it by himself. Whether there's somebody in the picture or not, they moved on and they're dating somebody else. And if they're living together or this or that, that does not, to me, absolve you of your financial responsibility as far as taking care of these children. And
yeah.
then I think I honestly think it's shitty because
Mm-hmm.
you're just like, well, I'm just not going to do this or I'm not going to do that. Now it's a different story if you falling on hard times or you just can't pay right now. I don't know. I'm not going to
I
I
would
try to
think that
mind.
they would be able to say that. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah,
Just go out and be like, man, I can't afford it right now.
right,
Or I'm saying, or I can't afford the amount, but I'm still,
right,
say for instance, I'm supposed to get $500 a month, but I
right,
can only give like 250, like half of it.
right,
That's all I can
right,
afford right now.
right.
And and that's why I say I think there should be an understanding in a
Hmm.
sense,
Hmm.
between the two. Like, okay, well, we're okay, we're good. Hope you get back up on your feet, because in the end, if you get back up on your feet, whatever you're gonna do, it still will benefit the children in the end,
Right.
physically and obviously emotionally or whatever it may be, because there's still a relationship. Because what happens is if you stop paying and stop doing all that, then you and the mother aren't getting along already. Um, that's just gonna compile to everything else you're arguing about and
Right.
fighting and bickering. And like I said, the kids see that, or they're gonna see or hear it, and then it could turn one child against whoever it may be, or what I'm saying. So, and like you said, in like keywords, like just a whole understanding, but
Yeah.
it has to be on both parts.
Yeah. I know. I agree. It's just I don't know. It's just I would kind of be hesitant. I mean, I wouldn't get involved. I would never be like, hey, man, you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, or what's going on, because I try to mind the business that pays me, but at the same time, I just feel like it doesn't absolve you from this or that. You may, oh, well, I'm not working right now, or this or that. You know, I I remember, when I was single, and I was at one point I had three jobs. I was a real estate agent, working at Nike, and working at a TV station, and I didn't even have any children
Yeah.
because I had grown accustomed to a certain lifestyle. I used to like to buy clothes, and I wanted to hang out and do all the stuff. So, and that was me without any children.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. It's kind of crazy. It's just
Yeah.
crazy.
I would say this. I had funny because I said I missed one payment, but I accidentally missed the payment, right?
Uh,
But I've went to my son's mother maybe I think twice to make well over the years. Like I say, a little bit older now, but I could probably recall like maybe twice or three times. So I invest like a lot in real estate, right?
hmm.
So at one point I got caught up with some real estate and got really deep into some real estate when I got kind of messed up. So I actually went to her and was like, hey, do you mind if can I skip this month and then I'll double the next month?
Right.
Because I knew I was gonna get some, money, but I just
But
need to get back. Right.
right.
So she was like, yeah, that's fine. Hopefully, is there anything I can do? That's her words. Is there anything I can do for
And
you?
that's cool. Y'all have that
Yeah.
relationship, that understanding. Yeah.
Yeah. And then, I turned around and when I got ready to, I was like, hey, I'm going to transfer that money. She's like, well, just take half and put it in and take the other half. At first, she was like, just put it up just in case. Like, no, I'm good. I'm great. I'm perfect. She's like, oh, well, you can just basically just give it to the boys, straight to the boys then. Because, I'm like, it's a lot of money to be giving some kids. But
Right.
I was like, no,
Right.
I'm putting so the money sat in the bank account. And then one time she even told me, she's like, hey, when I kind of went through all that, some other stuff like that, she was like, hey, I told the exact same thing. Hey, mind if I miss? And I'll just get you back on the next. And she's like, that's cool or whatever. And then, and when it came around, and then she was like, hey, if you use that money, and you can just catch a flight up here with that instead,
Hmm.
pay for a plane ticket. She lives up north. Pay for a plane ticket with that instead of just pushing. I'm like, man, I just like I always knock on wood. I'm like, I'm glad we had that understanding in the beginning, but that's how it is because it's co-parenting. You know what I'm saying? So those things happen in life.
Right.
So those things are gonna happen. There's you may have kids in the house and you're gonna be missing some money. I'm gonna say missing some money. You might have a hard time. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
Um, so it's not like just the father has a heart or the best. I'm just saying the
Oh
baby
yeah.
father. It doesn't,
Right.
but what I'm saying is his is just a little bit more liquid when it comes to, versus the kids being in the house. But
Hmm.
that's why, and I always, I guess, knock on the door. I say, hey, man, it's just the understanding of it all before
Right.
any of that goes down and what type of relationship you think you're going to have or what you would like to have.
Right.
No.
I know that. Well, I'll say this is good that you guys have that kind of relationship because I'm sure there are lots of people out there co-parenting that relationship probably isn't all that great because of the child support
Yeah, I know.
or lack thereof.
I know one right now. Yeah, lack thereof. I know one right now that it's funny.
They're going through it.
Well, it's the craziest thing. The guy was paying child support. It's a friend of mine. He was paying child support.
Hmm.
So he to the mother, and then what happened? He has a daughter with her. He got the daughter like custody of the daughter, right?
Okay.
Well, let me rewind. When they went through it, she's like, you need to pay child support. You need to pay, all every dime, blah blah blah. She on it left and right, left. You need to pay child support. So he ended up getting custody later down the road when the child got like 8, 9 years old.
Hmm.
So like right now, so they were going to put her on child support. She has not paid child support. One time she said she don't think she should have to pay child support.
What?
Yeah, and then she's like, I'm the mother. I don't need. And she
No.
I paid one dime, and I'm like,
Oh, no.
what a that is the biggest, just a contradiction or whatever you were.
Did he take her to court or?
Yeah, they were in court, and he was taken to court, and she actually told the judge when he kind of ran it back to him. He's like, she actually said, I don't think I should have to pay child support. And she was already behind in child support, which is crazy. And she will not pay it. I'm like, are you serious? But you want him to pay the money.
Yeah, exactly.
Every dime. I mean, she was trying to squeeze, I would say, water out of a rock, through him. Wow. Getting every last penny. And of course, he's paying insurance for a daughter and everything, all that. He has custody now. She doesn't pay any child support. She doesn't pay any insurance. She doesn't pay for anything, although she's required to by law, right, at this point. Mm-hmm. But she stands firm and she should not have to pay. I'm like, now you are a deadbeat mother. And you want to always come, and it's just like, man, that is just crazy to me.
Wow. The hypocrisy and audacity of it all.
Yeah. Hypocrite. That's what I was trying to say. I said contradiction, but hypocrite.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, no, that ain't gonna work. Yeah. Well, yeah, no, I just wanted to get your thoughts on that. I'm constantly on Facebook looking at different stuff, and some of these topics they post in these groups is just kind of crazy. So I just want to get, your perspective, and then we share it with everybody out there on YouTube. But yeah, it's just I'm just like, oh, okay, I always just want to see what everybody's thinking of their mindset on this kind of stuff. But
right.
Yeah, that's gonna do it though for this episode of the Two Men with Mics podcast. We hope you enjoyed it, and of course, you go and you hit that like button and subscribe. Tell your friends. We need to get our subscribers up.
Yeah.
And you're always in for a treat. You're always in for a treat when you watch the podcast. So yeah, definitely tell your friends about it. And in closing, CJ, you got anything for the people out there on social media?
Right now, the NBA is stronger than the NFL personnel wise because Darren Williams beat up Frank Gore. And they box and
I remember
Darren Williams beat him up.
I remember you were texting me about it.
So there's a bunch of cream puffs in the NFL. That's all I have to say right now. Cream puffs.
I'm gonna have to watch one of those. But I know I am gonna watch these two games tonight. These NFL, they got two games on Fox. That's at the same time at 7:00. I'm like, what? I thought what was coming up. I thought there was an early game and then a late game. But oh well.
Yeah, I'm gonna have two TVs kind of, but I got a little small. Actually, this little small one over here, and then in my living room. I'll put it in the living room.
I'm gonna see if it's on Red Zone. I'm gonna see if it's on the Red Zone. But yeah, so I'm gonna definitely check them out though. I'm like, hey, more football the better. So But so again, we want to thank y'all for coming out and joining us, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week and have a Merry Christmas.
Yeah, and Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
That's right. And stay tuned for the episode when it comes up. And again, if you are a business owner or you want to showcase your business, let us know. Hit us up, 2menwithmics at gmail.com, or you guys already know the social media, because if you don't know it by now, I don't know what to tell you. So yeah, just hit us up. You got a business you want to promote, you want to just talk, hit us up and we'll have you on the show.
Word. Peace.
All right. Peace. You guys take care.